Ms. Parr, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Lindstedt, for about $4,900 for loans, household expenses, and fees. You claim that while living together, you paid the bills, you covered fines, you even submitted grants on his behalf. You claim that he never paid you and even pocketed some money. So you're suing to be reimbursed for the full amount that you contributed. Mr. Lindstedt, you claim that Ms. Parr never paid rent, barely covered any expenses. You believe that her claim is exaggerated and unfair.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Ms. Parr, how did you meet the defendant?
We dated. I
How
met
did you
him
meet
on
him?
Facebook, online.
Okay.
Dating.
Okay, and how long did you date for?
We dated 3.5 years to 4 years.
And were living together the entire time?
No, the
No.
last 8 months.
The last 8 months. You moved into his place?
Yes.
Okay. What was the relationship like?
We dated. We went to dinner a lot. We went to church together. The church had a house, and I was renting a room at the house. They sold the house. The new owners took possession, which left us without a place to live. So Terry offered me to live with him.
Okay. You were living in a home?
Yes.
How many bedrooms?
3 bedrooms, but the kitchen was in disrepair because the roofers had made a mistake and the sheetrock had fell down.
So the home needed some work?
Yes.
Okay.
The kitchen did.
What was the agreement financially when you moved in? Were you going to contribute to the rent, to the bills?
There really wasn't one. I agreed to help cover the light bill because he owned the house, and I submitted my bank records.
Okay.
On those bank records, it will show that I paid his light bill in full. It was like $127 until January of this year when we had snow. They didn't come out and read the meter, and all of a sudden he had an $800 light bill. That's when I put in for the grant to cover
Okay,
the light bill.
we're going to get there. Mr.
know.
Lindstedt, do you agree that there was no conversation about how the bills were going to be handled?
No. She was supposed to be paying $500 a month, what she was paying the church, to offset the cost of her living there. And I was going to pay the light bill. I've got the records of all my light bill payments.
So this was a verbal conversation,
Yes,
and you're saying, verbally agreed to pay $500 a month.
she did because she was getting out, had to move out of a place. She didn't have a place to move into.
Is that true? Were you paying?
I was paying the church.
You were paying the church. So why would you not pay when you moved in with?
He had no house payment.
Well, what about food and?
I was buying my own food. I was feeding him out of what I was buying.
Okay.
I was going to the store for him, and he would pay off of his food card. And what he was buying was Gatorade, iced tea, ice cream bars, and sweets. Everything else I was paying for.
Are those the household expenses that you're referring to in your complaint? Okay.
Toilet paper, shampoo, soap.
Sir, you claim that she didn't financially contribute to anything.
No. Well, she bought all that paper, but I had plates there. All they needed to be was washed.
There was no sink to wash them.
Well, why do you expect that money back?
I knew he would claim that I wasn't paying rent. I was contributing all that time. May not have been rent, but I was buying food. I was going out to eat and bringing food back for him. So I was contributing. I was running his errands, and I was paying for the gas. He gave me $20 a month for going to his.
And why were you doing that?
Because we were in a relationship.
Right. So why are you suing for it today?
The last 3 months I was there, he had extra people there. They were eating my food, not his.
Was there an agreement that he'd pay you back for it?
There was.
Or were you just being kind? You were being kind. He was taking advantage.
That's right. There you go.
Okay.
He was taking advantage.
Okay. Tell me about these grant fees.
I applied for 3 grants for him.
Okay.
The first one was light heap, and it was for the $800 light bill.
So it was for a bill.
It was supposed to cover the $800. They covered $400. However, I gave him $800. So I'm asking for $400 of that to be paid back to me.
What are the other grants? Because you're suing for $580.
I put in for Habitat for Humanity and Action. Action is supposed to do the roof or a bathroom, and they did contact him. So I'm not sure what they did because that was after I left. The Habitat for Humanity is supposed to cover a roof, a bathroom, the kitchen.
Did they approve him for those funds?
I don't know if they did or not because I left after I applied for it.
So what are you suing for in regards to the grants?
My fee to do that is normally 10% of what's granted or $500.
And you're asking for 10% of what he was awarded?
Uh-huh.
Judge Juarez.
Mr. Lindstedt, you said that there was an agreement that she was going to pay $500 a month for rent.
Yes.
How were you going to split expenses?
I was supposed to pay all the other bills.
All the other bills?
And I was getting $200 a month on my Medicare supplies for food and groceries.
Did she ever buy food?
Occasionally, she bought what she wanted to buy.